Okay.
All right, well, welcome back, everyone. As you know, we are live. This is Jet City Live. We're at Jet City Comic Show, and this gentleman sitting next to me here is the wonderful Roger Cross. And if you don't know who he is, then you don't watch TV. You've probably seen him on shows like 24, Continuum, and right now you can catch him on Syfy's Dark Matter, which is literally one of my favorite shows on television right now, which needs to be a lot longer than 13 episodes, I can tell you that.
All right, we'll talk to the people. Joe, you hear that? You got to get more than 13 episodes. Okay.
So how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. People here have been wonderful. You guys are great, and it's a nice sunny day out today, so I can see everything, and it's been great. It's been fun.
Right on. So let's jump right into it then.
Okay.
So you play number 6, the character 6 on
Yes.
Dark Matter. I want to jump into a question real quick that ended with this season 1 ending, and I'll try to not. You're gonna get some spoilers. I'm sorry.
Well,
if
if
you
you haven't
seen
watched
Dark
season
Matter
1
yet,
yet,
then
yeah.
if you haven't watched season 1 of Dark Matter yet, you need to jump onto Netflix and watch it. It's there along with season 2.
Yeah.
Did you know as the actor that your character was going to be the betrayer?
They haven't finished that yet. So they talked about it. They went home and watched something last night. They haven't seen it, so close your ears for now. Okay. But no, you know what? We didn't know. No one knew until just before we shot the scene.
Okay.
He literally kind of did this whole thing where, and if you see the behind the scenes shots, he literally on the day off at lunch hour, and that was the last scene we shot of the whole season. He went by and had us sitting there, and he goes, "So, could be," and then he went through this whole spiel in front of Melissa, and he go, "And you are not the mole." And then he went by Alex, and he goes, "And you are not the mole." And then he went through the reasons why you would think and not, and then he got to me and he goes, "Yes, and the last person you suspect, and you are the mole." and handed me that gas mask. And but I mean, he was tricky too. He had like Alex and Anthony go for fittings for the GA outfit, just to make everyone think that, they could be them, and you can't tell anyone. And the character Jeff's character on it, who was my GA buddy from earlier in the thing, he had to be there on the day we shot it, but we couldn't see him, so they literally had to do his hair and makeup in a different place, and he couldn't leave his trailer and all that. So because they didn't want anyone to see him to know what was going on, and so it was kind of funny that they just kept it. He enjoyed Joe enjoyed that especially.
Right on. So how do you enjoy working with this cast? Because you've got a really great cast on this show, like Zoe Palmer, for instance, in the android, which she plays, in my personal opinion, Zoe Palmer brings back the android. She's very reminiscent of Data from Star Trek to me, but better. So tell me about the cast. You guys all work together. Like, do you guys all get along? How did you guys all?
Oh, we hate each other, dude. We're bickering. No, I'm kidding. No. It's pretty much like you said. It's very funny. We are from such diverse backgrounds and styles, and then we come together and we form this bizarre, beautiful family. And we love each other, and we hang out. We'll go to dinners and see each other even in the off season and things like that. And it's just nice to go to work with good people that you enjoy. And Zoe and I go way back. We also did a show called The Guard from a decade ago, and so I've known her for a long time, and the others getting to know them and appreciate them and their professionalism, and everyone's just like in it together, and so it's a great place to go to work.
What made you decide to take this role? I mean, you've gone from 24 to Continuum and all that.
Yeah.
What called out to this for you to take this role?
It was interesting because at the time I was finishing up on The Strain.
Yes.
And
Yes.
exactly. And TJ Scott, who was a director I'd worked with before on Andromeda and other thing, he was directing the pilot for this. And he was actually directing an episode of The Strain that I was doing. And at the time, I was finishing, and I was like, wasn't gonna do dark matter at first because it was on the East Coast, and I have two boys, and I wanted to be closer to the family, that sort of thing. And when Joe and them initially had come up with dark matter, they were gonna shoot it in Vancouver, but then that didn't happen, and they were gonna be in Toronto, so I wasn't gonna do it. And then the timing wouldn't work out either because I was still got to be on the strain, also come back to Continuum, and this I'm like it's not gonna work, so it's not gonna happen. I like the character. I love the whole concept of them trying to discover who they were, and even though they lost their memory, staying true to who they feel they really were, and so it was a great great character. And working with TJ, he was going to be directing the pilot of it. And he's like, "You're gonna come do the show, right?" And I'm like, "It's not gonna work, man." He goes, "Come on, I can make it work." I'm like, "TJ, it's not gonna work." And after some, shenanigans and this and that, and going back and forth and talking to the family, saying, "I'll be away a little bit more, and I'll just have to fly in on weekends or every couple of weeks, kind of thing." And we decided, well, it's a great character, and you should do it. And so I'm like, okay, if you guys can make it work, I'll do it. And they literally made it work. They shared me for the first little while with the strain.
Nice.
And then I kind of had to go fly back to the West Coast to do a thing on Continuum and go back there at one point. And then when that ended, after the season ended, I went and basically everything you saw on Continuum for that final season, I block shot all my stuff at the end of the season.
Oh,
and
wow.
So it was a bit hectic, but what I loved, as I said, is the writing was great. I knew Joe, he's I've known him a long time. We never worked together, funny enough. We almost did years ago on Stargate, but that didn't happen. And I knew some of the other people involved, and I also wanted to know who the other actors were because it makes a difference. And of course I knew Zoe. I wasn't familiar with the other guys yet. At Jodell. But I wasn't familiar with the other guys. But after meeting them, I'm like, all right, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be fun, So.
Right on. So, if you haven't seen season 2 yet of Dark Matter,
Close your ears.
Just like season 1, it ends with one of those what the moments, and it just leaves you no, this is not the season finale. No.
Oh man, yeah, we've had a lot of that.
Can you give us any hints to season 3 or anything like that?
I've read the.
You're alive, right?
Well, they let me read the first 4 so far, and man, it picks up where that left on and kind of flips it a little bit more, and so that's all I can say. And I gotta say, Alex is having a blast with that because he's who hasn't seen that? Okay, I won't talk about it. He's very stoic, but he's loving this new kind of angle on his character. For those who haven't seen it yet, I won't mess it up. And it's gonna be fun.
I like the way they've gone with his character too. I can't. Spoilers. So you've played a lot of roles, and I try to get this question out to everyone because I'm always interested. Mm-hmm. From The Strain, which I forgot about that. You did The Strain, which was also good.
Yeah.
What's your favorite role you've played so far?
Oh God, I can't even say. Honestly, different roles for different times for different reasons. I got to play Thurgood Marshall, and for those of you who don't know, he was the first, African American Supreme Court justice. I got to play him in a movie, which was amazing, historically. First Wave, going back to that show, one of my first real series, and playing Josh on that was amazing. Travis from Continuum, and now 6 on this, and at just different points, it's your growth and development as a person, as an actor, and everything else like that. It just different roles have different impacts at different time, and I'm not gonna pick. I can't.
Most can't choose, but it's always curious to wonder.
Yeah.
So if there was a role out there you could play that you really want to, that you desire, what is it?
Oh my God, I've always wanted to play Muhammad Ali. I've always wanted to play Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
And I love it, and I've read his autobiography and things like that, and love the job that, of course, Will Smith did. But I mean, there's just so much more that they could have told of that story. And of course, you can't tell in one movie a guy's life that was so amazing.
I
But,
mean,
yeah.
they didn't even capture the part where he faced Superman and they had that battle. Y'all read that comic, right?
Yeah, that would be a good twist on it. That's what we should do. Oh, yeah.
We're making movies up here.
Yeah. And I was blessed enough to meet that man years ago, and I have this great framed picture of us and stuff like that. I was like a kid, and he's like, and I went up behind, he's like, "You ain't so bad." I was like, "Yes, punch me." But,
Sometimes you want to get hit.
what I mean? Yeah,
Sometimes you want to get hit.
the champ's gonna do that.
Right on. So I want to take the time now to open it up to some audience questions. I know people have questions. Come on up. Just if you could, you can just line up right here behind the mic, and we're just going to take some questions. Love your shirts, ladies. Nice.
I know. Raz as stowaways.
Very pleased to be able to be in your presence here. Such a lucrative career.
Oh, thank
A lot
you.
of my favorite movies, Chronicles of Riddick.
Ah.
It's a huge list.
Have you ever thought about doing any, like, producing and directing and things like that?
Most definitely. And we almost sold the show a couple of years ago. And there's a few that I'm working with some people, including, I'm talking to Simon Barry about some stuff from Continuum. And so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I'll definitely be doing some other things.
I look forward to seeing it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I have one question before I ask the question. I was but what was the name of the movie when you were third grade marshal?
It's The Color of Courage.
Okay,
The
that's
Color of
what
Courage.
I'm asking.
Yeah. Yeah.
My question, because I just started watching Dark Matter, and it's just like, I think it's one of my favorite shows I've seen in a long time too. And I just thinking so much like about nature versus nurture, and
Yeah.
that is like, are these people they turn out to be that way because of their life circumstances and their nature is.
Yeah, you know.
It's just so fascinating how all these people, just because they lose their memory, they're
Yeah.
like different people.
Yeah, and it's kind of like you want to be your best self in a lot of ways, and so these people think, and as initially like, okay, we're good people except for three. Of course, he's kind of like, nah, I don't care for these people. Let's just do whatever. But even you want to be your best self, and so these people have this image of who they well, we're going here, so we must be here to help these people, that sort of thing. Then you find out, no, you're actually mercenary. You're supposed to kill them. It's like, oops. And then you're like, oh, but now we've, pissed off our employers because we didn't do our job. And so, and it's the whole thing, can you escape that past? And even if you do want to change, and nature versus nurture, these people are from different backgrounds and more than likely troubled backgrounds and things like that, but they found they were good at killing and robbing and beating people up and things like that. So they went into something that, they could benefit in that way from. But then, at the end of the day, thanks to one who really wasn't a mercenary, they all kind of said, well, we could be better than we have been. And so that's the struggle that they face. And even if they want to change, we'll just let them change because of, all the things they've done in their past. And so that's one of the great things about the show, the bigger question, because people face that in their real life. You might have wronged some people and you try and make up for it, but can they let it go? And then if they did something to you, can you let that go? And it goes, the whole back and forth happens. And
I think it shows a lot of hope.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's
really
it. Yeah, and even when you try and do the right thing, sometimes it blows up in your face.
Yep.
So.
That's a lot.
Thank you.
Here, I'd like to actually give you some books from Peter Klein's. These are 2 books from him that he autographed. Those are for you.
Look at that.
Giving away stuff. There you go. All right.
Hi.
Hi, Roxanne.
How are you, Cinderella? Fantastic.
I know the movie about what you make the darkness. I have the channel right now, so I have not seen. I hope I get it and I get seen it all.
Oh,
I'm still my husband up here, so I cannot go on Netflix.
Oh,
So
okay.
my question is, we talked a bit and you say you come from another country and from Hawaii or something and moved to America as a child.
when you recognize you like doing being an artist and being movies, or that you're coming from a family. So we're military, right? You maybe been from a filmmaker family that through generations. So you generation yourself starting as actor, or your parents was in this business. So when your expression, oh, I like the in this field. I mean, I saw you film long time ago, The Courage.
Oh yeah.
In my language, long ago.
Oh, okay.
After you say the title, I totally remember, but
Oh.
not back. No, so and I say so. But still, today, people have a problem. American in this. How you starting? It must you're not this young, so then you must starting all the change was still a hard time.
When I wasn't intending to be an actor, and I'm the first in my family that's really done it. I actually went to school and studied aviation and business. I was a commercial pilot. Acting was a side thing. I mean, I did it growing up. You know, we did church plays and did it at school and all that sort of thing, and camp and all that great stuff. But it really wasn't a focus for me, and it wasn't until after I finished and I was doing some charter flights and things like that, and then someone was like, I used to do some, martial arts and that sort of thing. So they go, they need some guys to do some stunt work on 21 Jump Street. So I'm dating myself. And so I yes, very much so. So that was my first real experience doing it. So I'm like, yeah, I did some stunts. And then they're like, oh, you have a natural thing. I go, oh, I like acting, but it's not a real job. And I'm a kid from Jamaica. There we go. This, you get a real job. That sort of thing, and
Or four.
Or four. Yeah, exactly. 20 jobs. Yeah, no.
When I was your age.
You're lazy. No, 4? No. Okay, no. Come on. Did anyone watch? Who watched that?
In Living Color?
In Living Color? No. But it wasn't until later, and even when I did that, I still didn't consider it a career. I was in China. Long story short, I booked this movie to go film over in China when I still wasn't serious about acting. It's called International Rescue. And while filming that, on one of my day off, I was with the Kung Fu team that was there and went to this temple and I almost died. I slipped on these rocks and was going downstream, got pulled out. Those guys were like, oh my God, that's a tree we pulled you out beside. And if they hadn't, I would have gone off this huge waterfall and been mashed in a million pieces and that sort of thing. So, when you're like 20 and you're bulletproof and you think, nothing can stop you, and then you're faced with your own mortality, you reevaluate life and you appreciate things a lot more and you don't want to have any regrets. And so on the way back, the guys are like, well, what do you want to do? And coincidentally, 3 days later, I was doing my death scene in that movie. And it was, so it was really poignant and it was a huge moment for me. And it was just the moment where I'm like, I got to give this thing a try. There's something that felt great about it, felt real about it, and felt right. And you'd always gone to acting school and you'd been told, let this character take life and that sort of thing. And it was just kind of like, I get it. And so on the way back, the guy's like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, I'm going to give this a year and see what happens. And this is a few years later. Hey. Who's that? Say one more time.
Who's the prankster?
The prankster. I'd have to go with. We all kind of mess with each other. Alex is the goofiest. Funny enough, you would never think that because he's so stoic, but he is goofy. And congratulations, he just had his first child. His beautiful baby boy that was just born a few days ago. But he is the goofiest. But maybe the best one, and it wasn't even a huge thing. Jodelle, of course, played that creepy little kid in Silent Hill. And it was one of those things that freaked Alex out. And so we thought, so he's like, oh, first when he met her, he couldn't talk to her, actually. He's like, I couldn't talk to you because I still had that image of her as this child. And so she's like, oh, okay. And, sometimes we have long days and things are going on. And one day he's passed out in his chair. And she came up and played the Silent Hill music behind him. And it just came up. And he's like, and he jumped out of his chair. And so I'd have to say that's probably one of the better ones.
Nice.
Hey, good. How you doing?
Not bad.
Good.
So, you have a lot of variety in your resume. You know, Arrow, Strain being my favorite. Continuum. What's your favorite genre? I'm not gonna ask your favorite one. What's your favorite genre?
My favorite, you know, it's all about character for me. The genre, it doesn't matter. It's about a good character that has growth and depth, and that's more important to me because, my job is to tell someone's story. And everyone's story has layers. And so even when I audition for things, and if it's even if it's written kind of one-dimensionally, I'm like, well, I want to bring something to it that gives this guy some layers. And if they like it, great. If they don't, then it's not for me. It's not going to work. But it's more about just the character for me than genre. But of course, I love the whole sci-fi genre. It's because it's so many possibilities and it's so open to everything, and in a lot of ways, colorblind. Which is a great thing, and we'd love to get to that point in our world where you judge a person for who they are, content of their character. Someone said that.
Try.
Yeah, thank you. I like Kung Fu Vampire, honestly.
Nice.
Got to make that. Hey.
My favorite film was the Yakuza Coffee movie that you were in. Anything from the set from Kirstie Alley or John Travolta or anything?
Oh my! Well, as I said to you earlier, I was a pilot, and still am. And I remember with John Travolta, I was playing one of his pilot buddies, and look who's talking now. And we got to talking about airplanes, and he's telling me about the aircrafts he owns and things like that. And I'm kind of a young actor going, you own those? And yeah, you got a private runway to his home. I'm like, oh, okay. And they were flying up this beautiful, brand new aircraft for him to look at. I don't remember what it was. And he goes, hey, you want to come check out this plane? They're flying it in for me to check it out. And I went out in this plane, expecting maybe like a citation or something like that. It was this amazing, I think at the time, I think it was a it might have been, G3 or something like that. But we went out there and it was like, it's the first time I've seen the glass cockpit and the whole bit. I don't, pilot geek stuff. But anyway, but it's kind of like he took me out there and was like, and they had like white leather in it and it's customized and this, and the guy's showing him, what options he can have. And I'm just kind of going, still. And I'm like, you're thinking of buying this? And it's like, and I thought it was one of those crazy moments for me, just kind of like seeing it and going, this is amazing and stuff like that. And I'm like, I can just fly this for you if you buy it. And it was just, yeah, so that was one of my fondest memories of that. Thank you.
Hello.
Hey.
I don't know if we talked about this already because I got here a little late. Birthday last night.
Oh, happy belated birthday.
But, so, I was watching, a couple weeks ago, I was watching iZombie and scrolling on Instagram.
Ah, yes.
And then I saw you post a little something.
I
and
did.
I was wondering if you could talk a little about that.
Funny enough, Allie, who's beside me, Nick Chalka, she's out there, and I met her at in Atlanta, at Dragon Con, and the cast was out there as well. And at that time, there was a character on there that the producers had approached my agent about me doing on it, and I'd never had any dealings with the show, and then met her, and then coincidentally we literally land in Atlanta, and there was a message waiting for me. I'm like, that's so bizarre and so trippy. That didn't work out because of scheduling, but later on they came back with this other character that I recently did. It'll be fun for you guys to see. He's what can I say about it? I don't know what I can say. I don't think he's a zombie. So
If you're going to be a regular or...
No, I won't be a regular.
Dark Knight for my fix of you or...
Yeah, we start shooting Dark Matter next week.
Really?
Yeah, the new season of Dark Matter starts shooting next week. And
So can we expect it to be out a little sooner than waiting for a year?
You know what?
Last 2 episodes yet because I knew something crazy was going to happen and I was like, I can't deal with that.
You get
I was at the same point. I was like, this is where I'm stuck for the next. No.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
After the first season,
Oh yeah.
That's why you get
so-
yourself a nice big square sponge. You paint it red and you call it the TV brick. So when you get mad at it, you throw it at the TV. And that way you don't break it.
Yeah, it's true. Even my son did that. You can't end it like that. Like in my own, yeah. So,
Well, it raised so many questions.
oh
and
my
it's-
God, yeah, that's true.
That's
So.
making me definitely glad that I haven't watched this.
It
Oh
hurt.
yeah.
It hurt. It hurt.
I'm not gonna watch this.
No,
hurt. It
watch
hurt.
it, man. Go ahead.
You can go ahead and watch the second to the last one. Just don't watch the last one.
Oh.
Second to the last one's pretty damn good too. I was like the way the second to the last one was going. I was like, is this the season finale? What's going? My head was so.
Yeah, a lot of-
because it's just like it builds and it builds and it's like, whoa, what are they doing with the season finale? And then it's just like. You're just
yeah,
like.
the response from a lot of folks. They were like, yeah. Same thing. So.
It was very well written this year too. It was very well. This show's very well done.
Oh, cool.
All right. So hi again. Hello
Welcome back.
again.
My son AJ has a question.
Okay.
Awesome.
He was reading that you're going to be on, I think, the next episode of Blue Bloods.
Yeah, Friday night. I'll be in Blue Bloods this coming Friday. I think my episode airs. Channel 3 in Tacoma. Oh, see, there you go. Yeah, CBS.
So he's
There we
wondering
see.
what
4. Oh, okay.
he's wondering what it was like to work with the people on Blue Bloods.
Blue Bloods was awesome, and I mean, it's so much fun to work with those guys. Tom, most of my stuff is with Tom Selleck, and you know, I grew up watching him in Magnum PI. You know what I mean? And so that was cool. And of course, we're filming in New York, and it's always fun to shoot in New York. And so it was just a great time. They were really professional, and David Barrett, the director of that, I'd worked with on several occasions, from The Gates to Arrow, now on Blue Bloods, and so I can't tell you much about it. You might have seen, like, at the end of the thing, you might have seen I was there, part of the robbery that was going on, and I was in there. But that's as much as I can say, because if I say anything else, they'll kill me. And you don't mess with those New Yorkers; they just get you, you know. So it was like, it was a lot of fun, man. And hopefully, I'll get to play with them again and stuff. But right now, I gotta go back to my day job. How are you? Good.
Yeah, short girl issues.
But she can beat up Roy, you know that?
Oh, can she?
Yeah.
Beat up Roy, huh?
Yeah.
Can she whoop your Roy?
Yeah, Roy.
Okay, so try not to spoil anything for anybody, but season 2, 6 went through a lot, like up and down. That's different characters for a while.
Yeah.
Besides being killed off, what do you hope the writers won't do on this season?
Thank
Oh
you.
my God.
They're not going to kill him off, because there's going to be some serious issues if they kill him off.
See, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, what was this, episode 3 or 4? I was really worried.
Right, yeah. What do I hope they not do? Oh my God! You know what? I mean, wherever they take it, I'm gonna roll with it. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. 'Cause there's no. I can't say there's anything I'd be scared of. Let's see.
Truly betraying too.
Oh, see.
Because she's that's kind of the I've noticed the major character development with that with
Yeah.
you and two. There's a
Yeah, we're kind of like mom and pop.
Yeah.
And we can talk to each other, and that's another. I like the way we each have different kind of relationships with each other, which happens with people in real life, and yeah. Well, I can't even tell you anything. I've read a few things, obviously, but I can't tell you. I'm just saying I like where it's going, and we're gonna have fun with it, and I'm not scared. All right.
Right on. So does anybody else have a question? Anyone? No?
All right.
Roll right on. So yeah, we've been sitting here talking with the very awesome Roger Cross, who's also really funny. And yeah, make sure you guys go check him out at his table. And if you haven't yet, check out Dark Matter. He was also on Continuum 24. He's done some stints on Era. IMDb list is a book all on its own. So, but yeah, go check out his table. Check out Dark Matter on the Syfy channel, Netflix right now. And thank you so much.
Oh,
I
man,
appreciate
thanks
it,
for
man.
having me.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thanks you guys for coming out.
All right, again, we're gonna take a short, like, little.